Welcome back, friends. This is Rohit Devangan presenting you a very interesting topic, which is weighted average price or with volume as the indicator. So, hence it's called as volume weighted average price (VWAP). Like what we do in all other videos is first we'll give you basic concepts, strategies, and how to use those strategies in topstockresearch.com using our custom screener. VWAP screener, right? So what is WAP? WAP is weighted average price. Now we'll understand what these two things are, but there are two interesting things to note here. Is number one is weighted and second is average price. So if you are familiar with some of the concepts of moving average, then perhaps you would know what the average here is. So it has two parts, weightage and average. When the weightage is on volume, it's called VWAP, volume weighted average price. The weightage can be on anything. Currently, the focus of this topic is volume, hence it's called volume weighted average price. Right? The formula of that is this one. If you still remember your school days statistics, then or it's a very basic elementary statistics, you can relate it. If you can't and you don't want to get into these things, don't worry. These values are automatically calculated. Not only calculated, they are presented and screened based on a certain strategy. Right? VWAP. Why average? Average helps you to understand few things. Number one, what is the current trend? So if the average is going upwards, then it's uptrend, or if it is going downward, it's downtrend. It also helps you to find trend reversal. So when the price crosses a certain average, then it's called breakout, and that's where a lot of professional traders they use that as a trend change. And it can also be used as support and resistance. If you're familiar with these things, well and good. If not, then I'll recommend you to also watch our moving average videos where we have explained a lot of these concepts in greater details. Right? Why volume? Volume tells that how much is market participation. How much market participation? Let's take a very simple example, right? The example is a villa on a beach. There may be one or two. So if you are looking for buying and selling, then you may not be able to get the actual fair value price because the transaction maybe once in a year or once in 6 months or something like that, right? So it's purely demand supply based on that particular point of time. Whereas if you go to a huge society where there are thousands of flats, right? So that's where you will get much more fair value because the volume of transaction is pretty high. So hence volume is very important, and that's why in VWAP we use volume as the weightage. Key use case, volume, VWAP since start of the day. We'll understand why start of the day, right? VWAP since start of previous day. Anchored WAP, we'll understand what this is, but for time being, this is also a concept which we'll take. And moving VWAP, this will be pretty similar to moving average. Start of the day, right? So what is start of the day? Start of the day is start of the trading day. So if you know that there's a pause between two consecutive business day in terms of trading, market closes at 3:30 and next day it starts at 9:15. So when the WAP is calculated at start of the day, which means that it starts at 9:15, and from that point onwards, if we calculate weighted average price using volume, then it's called start of the day, right? Typical ticks that you would use is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes tick for calculating this WAP, right? Why and where it is useful? Since it is start of the day, it is generally great tool for intraday, and trust me guys, it's used extensively by intraday traders, right? Number two is institution traders. Now institution traders, what they do is they don't buy, they buy a lot of quantity, right? Because unlike retail, who may be buying 10, 20, 100 or maximum 1000 stocks, right? Whereas institutions, they can buy in 100,000 or maybe millions of stocks at a time, right? So these guys use VWAP very extensively for their trading purpose. We'll understand how and why they use this way. All right, so strategies on VWAP. First strategy that we have is price crossing above VWAP. Like what we always do is we have some concepts out here, strategies, and then we take you to our screeners so that you get both theoretical knowledge as well as hands-on together for much better idea about the product, right? So price crossing above VWAP. Let's go to custom screener. Over here you have VWAP. When you click on VWAP, the default option is price cross above VWAP. What we also do here is basically we change the tick to 5 minutes. Of course, you can retain the tick to EOD, but since it is start of the day, EOD will give you 1 point. So taking it to 5 minutes will give you more points throughout the day. All right. So when you click on this one, price cross above VWAP, you'll find that few records are there where price has just crossed above VWAP. Right. This is an example in the last tick of the day. In the last tick of the day, you see that the price is crossing above VWAP, right? Likewise, you go to the second stock, again you'll see that last tick of the day price is crossing above VWAP. Right? So this is as simple as it goes. Again, I'll repeat how to go. We go to VWAP. We'll leave all the options, default options. So the default option is for the simpler option wherein the standard tick is 5 minutes. You don't have to change too many things. Price crossing above VWAP is a very, very good strategy, right? Run it. You'll find all the records out here. When you click on this, you'll find all the stocks where price is crossing above certain VWAP, right? What's our next strategy? Price crossing below VWAP is just opposite of that, and VWAP trending. So before we go to VWAP trending, let's also try to explore what are the options available here. So price cross above VWAP is one. Second is price above VWAP. When you click on price above VWAP, you'll find that all the stocks which are above the VWAP on 5 minutes since start of the day. So when you click on here, you'll see that all the stocks where the price is above VWAP since start of the day. Right, so you'll find quite a few set of records. It has also a lot of lot of advantages which we'll cover in a short while. Right, why and where to spot price above a certain VWAP level. Then what do we have is VWAP trending, VWAP gap widening, narrowing, and few other options. Right, so let's try to understand how do we use it. So number one option is price above VWAP. Now what does price above VWAP means? Price above VWAP means that the price is running above VWAP. So what it means is overall the control on that particular day since start of the day at that point of time is with bull. So bulls are raising the price higher than the average VWAP, volume weighted average price, right? And then the VWAP level in such case, of course, these examples may not be great examples. The reason being is it's end of the market. So you'll not find great example, but when you see that the price is above VWAP, that means bulls are in control and overall the direction is bullish, right? You'll see that there'll be a lot of crisscross in some of the stocks. In some of the stocks, it will be pretty much trending nicely. So when we look at, let's say, Bosch, we look at Bosch. So this is where the price has crossed above this level. It moved up. Again, it came down, moved up, came down. So whenever the price is above VWAP, it is like bulls are, or there are more demand than supply, and vice versa, right? So that's first thing, which tells that bullish sentiments. And then you can use this as a support and resistance level, which we typically use. So if you see that there are quite a few times out here where it actually used as a support or resistance, in this case as a resistance, right? Let's look at another stock, Havells. When the cross, in this case, the price is above VWAP for a significant amount of time. In fact, most of the time. That means bulls were more in control throughout the day for Havells in this particular case. The second example that we have is price cross above VWAP. Now, what price cross above VWAP means? Let's go deep into the application. Cross above VWAP. When we run this, whenever the price is crossing above VWAP, let's bear with it. Okay, whenever the price is crossing above VWAP, that means that there is a change of direction. For example, in this case, the price crossed above VWAP, the direction is moved up, came down, and again the last tick of the day, again it has moved up. Next example is Havells. Over here there was a crossover and then it moved up. So if you see that out, not every movement, like any other indicator or any other pattern or any other analysis, right? Nothing is 100%, but it just gives you the idea. And once you get a pretty good idea about it, you'll understand risk reward ratio, and sometimes it gives you very, very good results. Like in this case, it moved up and then there was some movements. This small movements is pretty good when it comes to intraday, because you don't expect huge movements in intraday. You expect small movements, so you do scalping and do your trade, right? So this is how you will find that the price is crossing above VWAP. What does it mean? It means the change in trend. Now in this case we have mentioned quite a few things more compared to moving average, since this is primarily a day trading thing, right? So the activities on an individual level has much bigger impact. There are a lot of short positions, long positions. All these are happening throughout the day at a very dynamic level. So when the when the trend is changed, the direction is cross above. The direction changes from bearish to bullish. What it means is a lot of people who would have short position will start squaring off their position, which will result in short covering, which will take the price higher. Since there's a bullish crossover, there would also be a lot of long positions coming in that will further take the price higher, right? So a lot of dynamics which happens. It happens with other tools also, like a moving average or a trend line or channel, right? But here it happens relatively more because there are a lot of institutional users who trade based on these things, and their change or their actions make much bigger or stronger move, right? So what we have covered here is price cross above VWAP. Next is price is about to cross above VWAP. Now, as we have seen that when price crosses above VWAP, a lot of things can come into picture, like covering of short position, long position. Now, how about if you are able to get this idea little ahead in time, right? So let's see how we can utilize top stock research for that purpose. So again, resetting, starting with clean slate. Okay, price is below. In this case, what we do is price is below VWAP. Okay, that's first condition. That you'll find all the stocks which are prices below VWAP, number one. Then we'll add another condition, price is within certain percentage. So let's keep it as 0.2%. 0.2 is pretty good when it comes to intraday, right? So you'll find all the stocks which are below, all the stocks which are the price is below and within 2%. And then next condition what we add here is we add that OHLC trending, wherein you can say that the close price is rising for at least 3 to 5 ticks. Let's try 5. If we are lucky, we'll be able to find few stocks. Okay, no stocks with 5. Let's go with 3 ticks. What was our default one? Okay, no stocks, not too lucky. Let's make it 1. Maybe with that we'll be able to get some more things. Okay, unfortunately no stocks are coming with this condition. Okay, no stocks are coming. So the point is, the point which we are trying to highlight here is, let's take a stock, let's remove one condition and run this one, or maybe we make it 0.5%. Let's make it 0.5% to see if we 0.5%, and we go to HLC trending for 3 days, and we go back on 5-minute stick. Okay, no, let's make it 1%. 1% is a little too high, but for illustration purpose, it may give some results. Okay, price within 1% of VWAP, trending up. Maybe let's put 2 out here. Maybe if we are lucky, we'll get something. No records, right? So what we are trying to, let's remove this condition, and I'll tell you what we are trying to do out here. Okay. When you see the price is below VWAP and within a certain percentage, and the price is running. So this would be a classic example. Price is over here. You see that the price is trending up for some time, or over here the price is trending up for some time, and then it's about to cross, and then it's crossed. Of course, in this particular example, it was not a great case. Let's look at some other example out here if we are lucky to get something more interesting. Again, not too good a stock, but the idea is to give over here the price is trending up. Over here it is below, the price is below VWAP within certain percentage, and if you see the momentum out here, if you can get certain patterns or something out here, then you can latch in little early compared to the peers to get maximum benefit out of it. Okay. The next what we have here is price trending up, price VWAP trending up, right, which tells you strong momentum. So let's take an example out here, trending up. When you go and click on trending up, you'll find few stocks where, okay, let's remove the other conditions, price trending up, and let's remove this condition. So we'll find some better quality stocks. So our condition here is VWAP trending up for, let's say, 7 ticks. Let's see if we get any results. You'll see that there are quite a few stocks where VWAP is trending up. So VWAP is gradually trending up. That means not a great example out here. But here, if you see VWAP is trending up, so if the VWAP is trending up, then naturally the price is trending up much faster, because it does include this thing, right? VWAP is trending up nicely, so is price. So this is another way of getting or gauging where the direction is. So moving average will give you similar results, but weighted moving average or VWAP will give you which also includes price. So this is again a very good indicator. Okay. VWAP, price VWAP gap widening. So in this case, you'll see that the gap between the two are widening. So when you go and look at any stock where the gap is widening, when we click out here and run, so you see that in few stocks the gap is widening, right? So in this case, all that we did is we said that the gap is widening. So in this case it's bearish. The gap between VWAP and price, the gap is continuously widening, right? Over here again the gap is widening. If we add another condition out here to say that the gap is and we reduce the period to 5, and we add another, and the price is above VWAP. So in this case, what we have done is the gap between VWAP and price is widening, number one, and number two is price is above VWAP. That means it will show only the bullish stocks, right? So in this case, we see Aster, DM. So the price is above VWAP and the gap is widening, right? So it tells you that the momentum is much more stronger, right? The price is getting upper, price is above, and the gap is widening. That means the momentum is much more stronger. Okay, over here the gap is widening and the momentum is much stronger. So this is another way to gauge. So out of all your analysis, you could also use this for as a secondary confirmation, or maybe for primary if you have another conditions matching your criteria and you want to use VWAP also, you can use this condition also. Okay. Then gap narrowing is just opposite of gap widening. So let's look at an example where the gap is narrowing. We'll see the gap is narrowing and price is below VWAP, right? So when you look at stocks, okay, we find few stocks where the gap is widening, where the gap is gap is narrowing. From here the gap is narrowing, and it's pretty close to, and it is below this. So this will be excellent case where it is likely to cross over. It is likely to cross over VWAP, and hence a bullish signal is generated. So a few minutes back we learned that to get into action before certain thing is happening for the daredevils or risk takers. So those guys can utilize these strategies, right? Over here it's likely to cross, so you get a heads up that this is likely to cross. Of course the point should be closer to this one. So what you can also do is you can add another VWAP and set that the gap between VWAP and price is less than 1%, right? So when you click on this, you'll find that there are few stocks. 1% is little too high, so let's put 8.5% and run, right? So you see few stocks where the gap is narrowing between the two, and it's very close to it, and it's below, so it's likely to cross above, right? Of course this is end of the day, but if you get such a thing during market hours, then you can get into things earlier than a lot of people who are waiting for this signal, right? Or if they're just waiting for a simple crossover, this would be a better candidate. Another example that we have here is, right, is here. It's likely to cross above. So you see that momentum is already there, and momentum is already there with volume and other supporting factors, and it's likely to cross above. Okay, so you have potential crossover, early entry, bigger gains. As I said, it's risky because it can retrace back from that level. So you need to see Along with this, if the volume is good or some other pattern is getting formed, then go ahead and do it. And then another one is price retracing for VWAP, wherein VWAP can act as a support and resistance level. Okay. Example, this is a simple example. We don't have to go too deep into this example because we have seen it in the actual practice. So how this works. Okay. VWAP screener, the other options, what we have covered is start of the day. The second one is start of yesterday, start of the day, or start of the previous business day. That's another case that we'll be covering. Moving VWAP, very similar to moving average, but here it uses volume weightage. And anchored VWAP. We'll understand all these things now. Okay, so next is start of the day yesterday. So what we have seen is VWAP starts at 9:15 or at the start of the market hours or trading day of the same day. But if you want to use this level from start of previous day, then that option exists. It is very similar to VWAP, except that it starts from previous day rather than the current day, right? So relevant when if the previous day had something eventful, then and you feel that some of the things is likely to continue to today, then you can use start of the day yesterday, right? And when like I said that if it is important and some interesting thing is happening, yeah, and some juice is left from the previous day, then you can use start of the day VWAP. There are not too many users who use this, but I know I have heard that few users use this also. With since it is slightly different, the amount of documentation is slightly lesser. But if you find it to be useful, then obviously because there are less players, and if the strategy works for you, then you have an advantage. Rest of the strategies like start of the day or a lot of strategies is known to a lot of people. That means for every possible scenarios, there are a lot of people, interested people, and the chances of making decent returns becomes lower because there are too many participants eyeing for the same pie. Okay. Then moving VWAP, it's very similar to it is very similar to moving average. The disadvantage of VWAP is that it starts since end of the start of the day or yesterday, and it works only since it is less than a day's period. You can have a very small ticks like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes tick. If you want to use this concept for a longer period, then you can use as a moving VWAP, right? It works on all time interval. So let's go and look at example. So what we have kept here is the VWAP, very simple for most of the common scenarios. For somebody who, like you guys who are looking for more or different options, click on advanced option. You have start of the day, start of the previous day. Over here, the default option was VWAP. You can change it to moving VWAP. Okay. And you can decide. Now if it is start of the day, it starts at 9:15, 9:15, 9:20, 9:25, and you can have those number of ticks. But if there is a certain event which has happened, maybe quarterly results or annual results or some other launch of a product or some news related to a stock, right? Then you may want to start from that particular interval. So what you can do is, let's say some event happened 20 days back, and you want to calculate VWAP from that day, right? Again, you have all these options crossing above. So now what we do here is, instead of 5 minutes, we'll take daily tick. We'll take daily tick and we'll analyze it, right? So when you look at this thing, now the VWAP is a moving VWAP which takes last 20 periods. So this particular point, the VWAP is calculated based on last 20 ticks. Over here, it is calculated based on its previous 20 tick. That means first to last 21st tick and so on. And so this is how you'll be able to get this set of information using moving VWAP, right? Moving VWAP, and it gives you pretty good, like in this particular case, what you have seen is it's giving a nice support throughout the trend, right? The VWAP is giving support. Now it appears very similar to moving average. Let's give moving average a different color so that we differentiate between VWAP and moving average. So you see that in this case, the moving average is little away from this. Of course, it's a 50-day moving average. If we had chosen a 20-day moving average, then the results would have been little closer. Let's look at that. Right? So even with 20 days moving average, you see that the general trend of moving average and WAP is pretty same. They are of course crisscrossing each other, but both of them are giving a uh, nice support to the price right over here. So this is how you can use moving VWAP. You can set you can set any period of your choice. Preferably, you'll prefer a period from where certain event has happened, or otherwise also you can set any other period. Right. The next one is anchored VWAP. It's very similar to start of the day. Instead of start of the day, it takes a certain important event. The start important event can be, which we'll see, right? Start from recent highs. So let's take an example. So anchored VWAP is we go here and then we go to high points, right? We go back here to, let's say, last 40 ticks, right? And whichever was the highest level from last 40 ticks will start VWAP calculation from that point. So when we run this, you see Bharti Airtel, the highest point, when we look at candle, the highest point was pretty close by. So the highest point in last 40 ticks was this one. So it's calculating VWAP from that point, right? We go to Cello. Cello, the last 40 tick was little too back. It was around 25th of April, and the VWAP is getting calculated from that place, right? And today is 21st of June. So it calculates roughly 2 months from last 2 months. Last 2 months means last 40 days is 40 business day, which approximately comes to 2 months. Okay, over here the high was here, so that's where the VWAP is here. So the idea here is what you can do is you can start your calculation of VWAP from a certain meaningful event, which can be recent highs, which can be recent lows, just opposite of high, or which can be from a volume surprise. So in this case, what we have done is we have taken the high points. Similarly, what you can do is high volume point, which again can be because of a certain event, can be in election results or quarterly results or any news on that company. So we see APL Apollo has the highest volume. So the highest volume, which is pretty visible out here, it starts from this point, right? We see FSL, the highest point was this. So how does your volume weighted average price starts from a particular point, which can be a anchored, number one, and anchored is number one. Number two is from that anchored point, what is the event that you want to capture. So we have 4 events. Number one is highest level, lowest level, high points and low points. So this is how you can screen based on these things, right? We have lot of documentation available. I don't want to go into too deep into concepts because the video tends to get a little longer. If you're familiar with these concepts, you can directly use these screeners, or there are a lot of other concepts also available on internet. So you may want to refer some of those things. If you're already familiar with WAP, then I would suggest to go and try out the start of the day, previous day, or anchored or moving WAP, right? So starting point is WAP. WAP is very, very easy, and we have covered WAP in a little longer duration or details. Once you get used to it, then anchored WAP or moving VWAP will also become a lot more easier to understand. And once you understand, then you can, over a period of time, you can get a pretty good idea how to trade using these different indicators. Okay, like for any other indicator, there are certain pros and cons. Let's discuss that as well. It gives pros, it gives excellent results. It's one of the best indicators for day trading, right? It shows who is in control, bulls or bear. It can help you to determine what the market trend is at the opening. It can act as a good support and resistance. So you can use this as an additional support and resistance level for your stop losses. It's very popular in algo trade. Then the cons. The cons is number one, it's lagging indicator. So any moving average or any technical indicator is a lagging indicator. So is VWAP. You cannot use it. So usage is pretty limited. Let's say we just use the start of the day. Then the usage starts once the direction is set, right? So you cannot. So most of the action happens during first 5 to 10 minutes of the day, wherein anybody who wants to take an action next day, they come and jump in first 5-10 minutes to take either long or short position or take a new intraday position. So you cannot use VWAP there. You have to wait for a few more minutes. Then same thing, 5 minutes, you can't do much over here. Then it requires certain supporting price action. So just trading on VWAP gives good results. But I would recommend that, when the crossover is happening, you see a candlestick pattern or a recent highs or lows breakout. So you use it or in conjunction with volume. So use with one or the other indicators to give better results. So it's not a standalone indicator and also lagging indicator. So use this when you see that, let's say an engulfing is there's a bullish engulfing is there, or it has just broken a recent level of support, trend line or previous highs, then this will give better results. Okay, it does not work in non-trending market. So if there is a non-trending market, then you will see that a lot of stop losses getting hit, and your broker would be making more money than you. So avoid it in a non-trending market. So that's all I wanted to explain you about WAP. Hope you liked it. If you like it, please do share, like, share, subscribe, and share with your friends, so that this the effort that we have put in to create the screener, creating these videos, goes to a larger set of user, and which will help us. In we know that if it is being watched, or if it's being liked, then we know that we are going in the right direction, which will help us and motivate us to create more videos, right? If you are new to or if you are watching this video for the first time, then this VWAP is part of custom screener. We have a screener or we have a video in both English and Hindi. You can get a pretty good idea about custom screener. Or if you want to get an entire product overview, at bottom of the page you have this product overview in English and Hindi both. So you'll get a pretty good idea about the product. If you still need that little kind of support from us, you can always call us on these numbers. We'll be happy to help out here. Or if you feel that you have already taken subscription and you need to know how to use it, you can always request for demo, or you can write to us using contact us. We'll be happy to help, right? So that's all I wanted to discuss about VWAP. Hope you liked it, and very soon we'll bring you a very interesting topic. So stay tuned. And if you are already subscribed to it, you'll get a notification, so that will help you to get this video as soon as we are ready with the video. So till then, a very goodbye, and hope to see you very soon in